I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Someone sent me this. I'm like, no. No. If I got to see it, you got to see it. And there was a couple people in the comments section said, Cappy, why do you slam on liberal white women? I don't slam on the conservative ones. But then sometimes you're like, well, you're conservative, but why is that so cringe? I sat down and I thought about why has it become a trademark? Why has liberal white women, trademark? Why has it become a punchline, this cringeable meme? I think they're just really good at it, right? Black guys are good at basketball. Asians are good at math. White women just have this incredible ability to have no self-awareness and do the cringiest fucking shit. We all got our strengths and weaknesses. Fuck, man. Here we go. Yes, and it's all older. There's like a guy. There's a creepy fucker game or sneaky fucker game guy here. Here it is. Okay, no, that wasn't it. See, the internet. Oh, guys, I don't make it up. Let's try this. There we go. Fat, ugly white women. Karen Werstein? Look at the guy. I got to pause it. Lord knows it'd be copyright. Can you imagine being the guy in this? Can you imagine being like, what's your life? What are the choices you made? The guy looks like he's about my age, upper 40s, lower 50s. Carry me through your life, man. Like, let's go back to 1983. You're a kid and it's Christmas. What path did you take? Where did the Plinko chip fall for you to land here in 2025? You're born into the most privileged life on easy mode setting in the United States. You are born and you end up here. These gals, they're talking about the 80s. The guys don't know sweating. Okay, we gotta explain this because my audience is a little younger. There was a guy called Gene Simmons. Guy was as gay as a bolt of lightning. All right, and people loved him. They didn't care. And he did Sweating to the Oldies. I think he passed away. And he was just this fun. He is a staple of the 80s, right? He was just this harmless guy. And he did Working Out, Sweating to the Oldies. He got old people to work out. And these people are doing Sweating Out the Fascists is what it's called. Don't you think like Thanksgiving coming up with a family would have been better? I want to use this to show all you young people out there. This is what happens when you basically follow a Democrat life. This is the Democrat life. You're going to be a 58-year-old broad here, like sweating out the fascists at a Portland. This is what you're going to do with your day. You're going to make all these bad decisions that you say, you know what the best use of my day is today? I'm going to put on freaking leg warmers with pink pom-poms, and I'm going to go protest over in front of the Portland ice facility. You don't have to have this life. You don't have to end up the irony. The gal who's speaking, her name is Karen. No self-awareness, none. That's why it's so fucking cringy. It's like, man, if we leave you in a vacuum with no outside influence or guards or like we just let you evolve, you don't evolve, you devolve into this shit. I I don't. Oh, there's an article here. I read the article. The picture. Look, there's the guy. There's the guy. I'm getting laid. Oh, there's another guy. Is that a third guy? I think there's 3 guys and 40 Karens. Oh. Trump should run with this image. He should run with it. From the Portland Mercury on Sunday, November 9th, roughly 20 people met outside Portland's Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility for an aerobics workout class. Decked out in neon leotards, the participants did grapevines, the classic upbeat 80s new waves in front of a boarded up ice building where right-wing paramilitary types were conspiring to arrest and deport people. You mean the legally elected police, the law enforcement under legally, never mind. Sunday, sweating out the fascist aerobics class was another in a series of increasingly absurdist-seeming protests at Portland's Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Oh, is that what it is? You're being absurdist. Oh, I remember that word from a bunch of worthless college academic hacks. Well, you see, it's absurdist art. That's what it. No. It's a bunch of worthless fucking people doing ridiculous shit, having no clue what it looks like to the real world. The inflatable frog has become the mascot of Portland's ice protests, but other inflatable characters also make frequent appearances, as does a man on horseback. People have also shown up for Latin dance and crochet lessons. Whatever you guys want to do, man. They think they're being so clever, right? These whole concepts that were made up by basically the lazy hippie pot baby boomer generation, like the postmodern philosophy, like reality isn't real. Like, okay, go walk off the cliff and let me know how gravity is, how it's not real. And at the end, guys, at the end of the day, it was just a bunch of boomers that didn't want to work. That's it. Minimalist art, minimalist architecture. We're not talking the minimalist financial philosophy. We're talking, you go into an art museum and it's a dot on a wall, right? And then they had to come up with a name. So you don't understand. It's really deep and no, it's not deep and philosophical. You're lazy, fucking worthless people who don't want to work. That's it. That's all it is. It's not edgy. It's not avant-garde. You see, according to the absurdist theory, according to critical race theory, no, you're a bunch of fucking adult children with parents or taxpayer money sitting way too fucking long in school avoiding a real job. That's it. And then you come up with ridiculous theories. I don't care what you name it. If it's a cool sounding name, it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. See, we're being absurdist. No, you're like a 101 IQ trying to convince people who are smarter than you that somehow you know something they don't. No, you're a lazy sack of shit. That's it. You're painting the car a really fancy red and say it's going to go faster. Meanwhile, the engine is a mouse on a treadmill. And it's a tired mouse missing a leg. We just want to make sure we could have our voices heard. Okay, let me focus on the young ladies again. Okay, ladies, do you want to be a 50-year-old and saying, today my goal is I want to make sure my voices are heard? You know what I want? I could probably compare this to my to-do list today. I have to buy health insurance. I have to acquire soda water. I don't have to acquire. I need to go to the gym. I need to talk to my state attorney. I need to, what else I gotta do? I gotta go get a corporate credit card. I need to get gas, right? These are practical things. At the end of the day, I'm better off than I was before. I didn't have gas. Now I do have gas, right? My voice is to be heard. I really, do you not want the amount of time and effort these people put into ridiculous, childish antics for their entire lives? You can go to the gym, you can work out, you can, whatever, do your hair and gussy. We're not even talking a lot of time either. And you could find yourself a quality, handsome man who's rather well to do. It also requires you be nice and not be an insufferable feminist bitch. Please don't have other men's children. And then, up comes Thanksgiving time. If you want, you could sit there and make a really nice, good turkey meal for your family and sit down and have a good Thanksgiving with your family. Or if you don't want family or whatever, you just want your husband, or you don't like, fine, you both work, you're a dink, double income, no kids, and you just outsource it. You buy the turkey dinner. But there it is with candlelight, and there you are with your husband. You're having a good old time and relaxing. Or you could go to Mexico where it's warm, whatever. I I don't care how much the teachers and professors push you towards this life. For the love of God, do not become this punchline, this butt end of a joke that liberal white women have become, and other races, any liberal woman, any liberal period. Do you want to be the guy, right? I could point it out to the guys too. Guys, do you want to become these two schmucks? I'm going to get myself some gray pew pussy. Do you want a life? You failed if you're in your 50s and you're at a protest on a work day and you're there because you want your voices heard. And this was a fun way to do it. Jennifer, one of the teachers of Sunday's class, told Mercury. It's also a way to draw a contrast when people across the country saying we are a war-torn city that's on fire. We're not. We're a fun. No, you're a city of hate. You're a city of mental illness and people shitting in the streets. We're here to have fun and make these guys over here look a little silly. Oh, you're there to make them look silly. You're Do you want to be mentally ill? How many antidepressants? How many antidepressants? It's manna from heaven. It's painful manna from heaven. Like, I got at least, like, you guys showing me the cow bull minotaur book. Here I am, morning glory, evening grace. Nope, got news for you, Cappy. I thought it was going to be a religious book. It comes out and, like, look at it. It is absurd, but not in the fun, edgy way you idiots think it is. It's so bad. Even little kids are going to look at it and say, what the fuck is wrong with grandma? It makes them look like they're doing cosplay. I don't make, guys, I had to look this up. It was posted on Facebook. It said the Green Bay Press Gazette. I'm like, okay. Then I went to the Green Bay Press Gazette. I didn't see it on their website. It was on their Facebook, the video, but it wasn't on their website. So I'm like, is this fake? Is this one of them AI generated things? Nope. Then I found it. You can't make it up. AI couldn't come up with something this absurd. By these guys, Jennifer meant the federal officers at ICE who showed themselves halfway through the workout. They stalked on the roof of the facility with gigantic pepper ball guns, drove a large bus with shaded windows into the loading zone, glowered at the proceedings behind the baklavas, and fired some pepper balls at protesters camping outside, out closer to the entrance of the gate facility. Well, you probably shouldn't block the gate. It was uncanny seeing Eric, a coach from Fulcrum Fitness, yell, "It's time to sweat out the fashions." I got to look up Eric. Fulcrum Fitness. Oh. The best trainers in Portland. Fulcrum Fitness University. Oh, this guy looks like he's in shape. All right, there's your token liberal of the day who's in shape. Licenses, certifications, burglar, alarm agent, hard rock inner training, certified trainer, volunteer. Do you have any awards? Dean list, English, Spanish, Tough Mudder. Okay, Savage Rate. All right, he's in shape. I'll grant him that. Oh, but there is a historical precedent for anti-fascist aerobic workouts. No, there isn't. It all started with Jane Fonda in 1972. Yeah, where she betrayed America and freedom across the world. She went and cheered on the North Vietnamese. Fonda, blah blah blah. I'm not reading the rest of this. There. Republicans would go a long way to appeal to young people with sanity right now. I think Republicans, conservative parties in general, always, you have a disadvantage with younger people, right? Because they're ideal. They haven't worked really yet. They've been fooled a bunch of bullshit by their teachers. I think now is the opportune time because the Democrats have fucked up the millennials and Gen Z so much. And you just got to probably say, look, do you want to become like them? For the first time in American history, maybe not world history, but I don't know any other instances, there are times society gets so bad, the adults don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I know this isn't an exciting, sexy thing us Republicans or conservatives are selling you, but would you like affordable housing? Would you like jobs? You know, you're not going to go save the world like those lunatics. Look, they're saving the world by sweating out the fascists. Or we can give here, the best we could give you is the 1950s. But it was racist. Yeah, well, we get rid of that part. I'm going to argue with it. Just like, yeah, so we just don't do that part. It's like I got this great lifestyle and an 80s successful finance career. Well, you can do that minus the cocaine, right? You could do that. It's like cigarettes. Well, you can stop smoking cigarettes, then your life is right. Well, Thanksgiving, stable family, no tattoos, good-looking people. Is that of interest to you? Or do you want to be some welfare collecting bum sweating out the fascists? Link below is assholeconsulting.com. Yeah, here we go. Dry Raven, oil. $2. What the fuck is that trick? It's not. No, they look like mostly straight people. It's obviously it wasn't just white women, but it was disproportionate. Now you're Portland too, so you have to admit, white women got this panache, this ability, this skill. The Karen meme, the gal who stole the baseball from the kid in the baseball game, right? And you have nothing to do with politics. The haircut, there's something, right? What? Why are Asians really good at back and forth like ping pong or badminton? Probably because they practice it a lot. But there's a skill, right? Why do some dogs run faster than other dogs? Why are other dogs good at burrowing out like badgers and things? Why do different groups of different animals and species have different advantages and disadvantages? Right? So why do Italians make great food? Don't know. Why do Japanese people live so damn long? We speculate their diet. God, white women they got a luck. If they choose to become a liberal, man, they could do some cringy ass shit. Like they dominate. Like, why are the Swiss good at making watches? Why are the Russians good at making vodka? Why are the Dutch good at making chocolate? No, they just are. Why are white women so dominant in the cringe meme field? I don't know, but they are. Ray, $5. Hey, Cap, how much to do a review of Shelby exists and makes stuff? Liberal white millennial woman, 32, lives at home, doesn't work and hates men. Well, how much time are we looking at, Ray? You got my phone number. Why don't you just text me? I mean, do I got to watch like 5 videos to get a feel? How long are the videos? Give me an hour. How many hours? Do I need to just watch 2 or 3 of them and they're 5-minute videos and I'll get the gist? I, here's another thing. Do we have to? I want to make as money as much as the other person, but do I even have, you just described it, right? Liberal right, white millennial woman, 32, lives at home and doesn't work and hates men. And right? What do we, that's as common as tacos, man. It's just like we go to Taco Bell. They ain't even good tacos, just a Taco Bell taco. What are we going to talk about it? I I don't want to look at the abyss anymore. I'm not put in a bad mood, but well, Ray, you know this if you read through articles and all that of the absurdity and the ridiculousness and the parasitism and the stealing and the theft and the whining and complaining and the deceit and all that. After a while, it gets tiring, gets demoralizing. You're in a bad mood. I want to be in a bad mood today. I'm like, I got a good day ahead. 75 degrees today for a high. I'm going to ride my motorcycle a little bit. Do I need, wow, shock, a liberal white millennial woman who's bitching about reality? I just did 3 videos trying to explain why women are upset when they say, leave us alone, and you say, don't get married, leave them alone. And they're upset. How dare you leave us alone, right? I just went through that. I just passed through the colon of the mind of the contradictory leftist leaning woman or anti-male confused colon of, I guess we could call it the American young modern female side. I don't want to, I've gone through enough colons today, this week. I've done enough. Stormwind, 2 Canadian, the soy is strong in that video. Yep. Lord Scrumptious, $2. Ought to MK, Gods Must Be Crazy film with their, ought to make Gods Must, well, they did a Gods Must Be Crazy. I saw it a long time ago when I was a kid. There's this tribesman. He's out in the Serengeti of Africa. And I think a Coke can falls from the sky because it fell out of a plane. And it was kind of funny where I even forgot the plot, but they think it's like, a miracle. And it's this thing and people fight over it. And it's a comedy. It's not a dark one. I remember it being funny, but we're talking, I was under 10 probably when I saw it. Lord Scrumptious, $2. Send them out to the Serengeti where they want to be. Sure, here, go. Sweet Kisses from Truckin', $5. Is it more of the orchestra playing as the Titanic goes down, or is it more Pavlov's pigeon dances for pellets? I wish I was as educated. I didn't know Pavlov. I knew he had, no, was it Pavlov's dogs? Oh, the pigeons that would come up with routines because they would think that once they hit the lever, a pellet would come out, so they repeat the behavior. I don't believe it's that. And I don't think it's the orchestra playing on the Titanic, though it's that too. I think go to my previous theory. I think too much of a good thing for any group of people results in them devolving. What's more akin to this would be the mouse utopia. I think this is just what people do when they got way too much money. They don't have to work for a living. They're not threatened with starvation or homelessness or hunger. You have a welfare state of rich parents or an adequate welfare state. And instead of working a real job and doing something, your brain never matures, right? You never grow up. If these are little kids, I could see it, right? But they are little kids. I don't care that they're old people. This is what little kids do. Yeah, I think this is just too much of a good thing. These are the weak people, the clowns that the good times create. And as I said before, it's too much of a good thing. That's the bad. That's the universal cause of all these problems. But the prism you shoot it through is the individual or the group. In this case, we're looking at liberal white women. It shoots out a different color pattern. And the color pattern is cringe, ridiculousness, absurdity, childishness. It's just an interesting color pattern that's splattered on the wall. And you're like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck, man? Colin, 2 books. Brave and inspiring. Exactly. Will 100% effectuate change. Right. Right. Alex Patino, our truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. When 50 Shades of Grey is no longer enough, I guess Beast Tea and Light Tea is the new Ling. You know what I also think it is? I think they just got too much time on their hands. Like I look at the parents of my nieces and nephews. They don't have time for ridiculous shit like that. And well, Alex, you're a dad, you know. You don't have time for this bullshit. I look at the parents of my nieces and nephews. They don't have time for bullshit. So you're occupied with more important thing, food, clothing, shelter, raising the kid, putting the house out of fire because the kid was playing with match, whatever. You know how it goes with kids. We were all there. But then if you're older and the kids are out and you never had kids and you're living on welfare, like, what do you do? Like, what the fuck do you do? I get antsy like day 2 of doing nothing. Like, if I force myself to take 2 full days off and there ain't video games around, like it starts to get to me. I'm like, and the girlfriend, just relax, shut the fuck up. Trying to relax. Like, to do nothing. And I guess, yeah, what are you going to do? Put on a play? This is what happened. A lot of people, I think they're more intelligent. Like, if you're a true welfare bum and all that, we'll just go do drugs and drink and eat your food and EBT and sit at home and play video games and, like, exist, right? But doped up. That makes more sense than me. But then some people like, I gotta, like, change the world. I guess maybe this is the group of people that are not just lazy, but also egotistical. And so they got to go change the world as long as it doesn't require real work. So they all hop on the bus with their government paid, bus pass, and they sweat into the oldies. I mean, guess Beastie at Leety is the new kink. Oh, at literature. Okay. Lord Scrumptious, no grandma is reading Morning Glory Milking Farm. That's for spinsters. Well, then why is the heroine a millennial girl? So one already pointed that out. I'm like, I don't think it's for older people. Sweet kisses from trucking. We were all lied to. The powers got you in debt with student loans and $100,000 work trucks. Yep. There's no Santa. Protests don't work. Can't save. Yep. The only thing is to retreat into your own selves and communities and become Amish. Build your own homes, grow your own food, participate in the economy as little as possible. Vic, 10 euros. All my belongings fit in a suitcase. I live on 50% of my income and invest in the rest. Man, you got a life. I remember those days. Move on my foldable bike. Got a vasectomy. I have a computer science degree, IT, and automated certification. And I'm sane. That's one of the highest standards of living right there. Do you think these women are happy? Not to mention the guys doing this. They can't be. They absolutely are not. I don't care how much of a show they put on while the camera's on. They are fucking miserable people. And they've wasted their entire lives. Sweet kisses from trucking, $5. On a higher note, I'm doing my first blacksmith. Oh, cool. Blacksmithing class Sunday. So there's that. Altham did that. And he said it was interesting. Are you looking? I don't need another super chat. I'm just curious if you're looking to go into like welding or something like that. You have to build see, that's not an easy hobby. You got to build a forge. Where do you put a forge? Like, you have to have a little bit of real estate for that. Oh, here's my forge. Yeah, can you guys see Sweet Kisses from Chuck? And he really gets into blacksmithing, right? And he's got a girl and he comes over. He's like, hey, you want to see something cool? Yeah, she like really, she's interested to trucking. And she's like, well, yeah, I'd love to see some. Here's my forge. And then she just like dries up. Like, oh, yeah. And this is a broadsword I made. And here's some armor plates. And she just starts slowly stepping back. We hear from the girls don't like they don't like forges. I found out girls don't like forges. Nope, couldn't have a normal hobby, could you, trucking? No. You could have just like bowling or something simple. You had to scare them away with your forge. Kenny Firebird, $5. I firmly believe the mind of a toddler in an adult's body. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, what else is a Democrat? I don't want to work. Like, the whole protesting about SNAP. Kids, innocent, I understand. But the adults, you can't feed yourself. You are a fucking child. You're a fucking child. And they come up to you, we're going to starve. And they're fat. Like, it's like the kid. Like, the kid's got crumbs all over his face with cookie, crumbles. And you're like, did you eat a cookie? No, I didn't. Are you lazy? No, I'm not. Like, you're fat. Of course you are. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field. A few months back, while reading History of Rome and certain people, I noticed that people with money, especially women, become unhinged. And I see that today when starvation and no shelter or security is not a problem. Yeah, it happened with the Greeks. All the guys would die in war and the women were allowed to inherit their estate. And then there became a managerial class that was women. And then I think it went to shit after that. Unearned money is the worst drug. It is the worst drug. It will destroy you. Because you don't learn to work. You don't know the value of your time. And not knowing the value of your time, you also don't know the value of other people's time. And you have no respect for anybody else because you don't understand or can sympathize. Wow, they had to work really hard. They had to work 2 jobs to save up money for a down payment. Like, I want free housing. And then when you look at people, then it seeds envy or sows envy because he's got a nice house. Why am I in Section 8? Because you're a fat, lazy piece of shit. You're a Democrat. That's why you don't have housing, because you're a Democrat. You don't work. That's why. Can I make it any simpler than that? You're out there doing sweating to the fascists. What do you think? This guy worked an extra shift. You're out here protesting. Why do you think he has more money than you? Mr. Anonymous, $5. I always ask, what do unemployed people do all day? This is what, I don't know. Homeless, I kind of almost understand though. I only knew this. I was in a very similar situation to homelessness. Not that I was ever homeless, but when I worked nighttime security, especially in the cold Minnesota winters, you're out there patrolling and you're trying to stay warm. So are all the homeless people. So you don't you at the end of your shift, you go home, you have a place to be. And yes, you have keys to get into the buildings and stay warm. But when you're hoofing it across the bridge, you're in some parking lot, you're like, God, where do I stay warm? So then you kind of change your patrol pattern. Like, okay, I know there's exhaust grates over here. So you go that way. So there's a little bit of a game. At least you're homeless. Like, oh, where do I find food? It's almost a video game. There's purpose and agency, as weird as that may sound. But if you're just collecting welfare and living at home, something much more common than just being outright rank homeless, what do you do? Kenny Firebird, $5. Nothing like living simple and getting out and touching grass does wonders of satisfaction in life, but you'll never convince them of that. Yeah, I do, guys. I had a great hike yesterday. If you want, go to my Instagram account. I posted some pictures and some videos telling all the workers to fuck off. Oh, hey, bro. On the other side, then you got these idiots who slave away for sports cars and all that other shit. But yeah, it was real nice. It was really enjoyable. Silent Blast, $5. As one who was on food stamps, my diet was chicken and rice for the majority of the time I was on it. For the majority of the time. Yeah, you were not the ones putting the chicken tendies under your armpits, blowing it all away. It sounds like you made it last. Sounds like you cooked at home. You didn't just whatever, go to the 7-Eleven and buy some meat sticks and some Doritos. Hope you're off it. I hope I hope you used the welfare for what it was intended, to get you back on your feet and you have a good life now. All right, that's it. I'm going to go and touch grass. I've already had my eyes poisoned with fat, dumb, liberal white women today. I'm going to cleanse them with a nice motorcycle ride. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.